All right, guys, so earlier in the spring we did a habitat project on here. There's a point coming off one of my food plots into the woods that we worked on. The deer like to bed on this, and so we created more of an enhanced bedding area for them. So I'm just coming in. It's been a while since I've been in here just to see how it's doing. Now that it's greened up, we're in the early summer. I wanted to see how it's doing. We also planted 20 white pines in here, and I wanted to see how they're doing as well. As those white pines grow up, it's going to add to the diversity, create more cover, more screening. So we're going to check it out. But I could see one right here, and it's got some good fresh growth. You could see it. The nice thing with these white pines is they're shade tolerant, but that one's looking good. It's got anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of new growth right there, and we just planted this a couple months ago. So let's go ahead and take a walk in here. So this is where I did some of this habitat. Look how thick it is in there. Of course it gets thick in the summer, but before this, it was a little more open. And we knocked down a lot of trees. We opened up the canopy more. We did lots of hinge cutting. And so we're gonna take a peek and see how things are looking. I mean, look how greened up that is from all these hinge cuts here. And you can see all this new sprouts from these hinge cuts. That creates more cover, more food, which is perfect for a bedding area. You can see the sprouts here, right? This maple, it's looking good. So I'm just taking a little walk in here, see what the... So once you get in here, you can see it's kind of open right in here. But a lot of new growth down in there. Lots of good new growth. Up in here, nice and thick. Right on the edge of the food plot. The food plot's about 25 yards up there. And I know the deer like to bed in these areas. So we got these nice little pockets that are open. But then along the edge it gets thick. Down that way it gets nice and thick. There's cover in between these pockets so deer can feel a little more comfortable, less stress. It's going to make the mature bucks move around a little more, looking for these does, checking them out. We also tried to thicken this area up here pretty good because it's right on the edge of the food plot. And this looks like a bed right here. Looks like something's been bedding right here. Got this nice little cover here. Right, you can see all these hinges, see all the new sprouts coming off. It's looking good, guys. I'm gonna circle around here. Man, you could feel how much cooler it is in here too, because it's a hot one today. Here's a deer trail here. This one was here before. They're obviously still using it. Looks like it's freshly used. And then you can see the rye up here in the field. But yeah, here's an oak that we hinged. And then we put some of these pines in there. That pine's got a lot of new growth on it. It's looking good. There was some pines up here. Let me trying to think where I think there was one up in here somewhere. There it is. Look at that. Look at all that new growth. Man, that thing's got like 10 inches of new growth on it. That's looking great. And you see these oak trees here. These big oaks, they produce a lot of mast. And then you got the food plot, you got the oaks, and then you got the bedding. It's just a really nice spot, especially for the does to hang out. And then I'll tell you what, once mid-October, late October, those big boys start cruising all around here. And then we got our stands strategically located to intercept them depending on the wind. So I'm gonna circle down here. Man, it's so cool in here. I just want to hang out in the woods. Like I said, we put 20 pines in here. So here, I'll let you see. I'm kind of walking down the point here. Here's that deer trail comes up off. There's a bench down there. But look at this cover here. So we dropped these trees. You can see all the new growth. They still got nice openings. It's not too thick, right? They got nice openings to bed in here, but it's not too thick where they feel constricted. Let's see how we're looking over here. Yeah, look at all this cover. It's looking good. It almost looks like something bedded in there. Interesting. I'll do some before and after so you guys can see. I mean, obviously in the spring there's no leaves and stuff, but at least you can start to visualize what it looks like, right? And if you go back and watch the old video, then you'll really get a feel for what we did here. We got lots of good cover. The hinges are all looking good. All the hinges so far that I've seen are surviving and sprouting new growth, right? You could see these. See all these new sprouts. So you can get multiple deer bedding in here without feeling bothered because it won't be wide open. This is one of the spots I really worked on because we access one of our stands, I don't know, about 100 yards from here. It leads to a saddle. And I really fear getting busted by a deer bedding up here, especially if there's a mature buck and he's on the downwind side of does that might be bedding up near the food plot and he's down here. The chances of getting busted, him seeing us not knowing he's there, are kind of high, right? And I don't want that to happen. So we get a lot of great activity in that saddle. So what I did was I knocked a lot of trees down here. Some of them are hinges, but some of them are just big trees I knocked down. You could just see how thick this is now. So even in the fall, this is going to stay nice. This is going to look nice and thick. And then as those pines grow up, they're going to create really good cover even into the winter. But we got nice openings here. The deer can still pop in and out without feeling stuck. Trying to see where I put some more of these pines in here. There should be a couple in here somewhere. They got so thick I can't even see where I may have put them. Oh, here's one right here. Yep, that one's got good growth. Look at that. That's probably 10 inches of growth on that one. They really sprouted up good. All the ones I've seen so far have taken off. I know there's another one. There's a few in here actually down on the other side of this. We'll have to circle around it. But I did put some along here. This is actually the bench right here. So you can see the old trail. So this is the bench. I did put some, yeah, here's one right here. Get that out of there. There we go. That one's growing good. There's another one up here. That one's got some new growth. Looking good. This one really got some growth on it. Look at that. It's looking good. All right, the pines have taken off pretty well. See if I can circle through here. Might have to open this up a little here. That might be all right, especially in the fall. You can see this fresh growth. This is one of those hinge cuts. It's got all this fresh growth on it. circle down through here. All right, we're back on the bench, but you can just look up through there. You can't see much. It'd be nice to see what it looks like in the fall. So here's this one, got a lot of growth too. It's kind of falling over a little bit. But yeah, this one's growing good. Looking good. Here's our ATV trail that leads back up to where we started. Looking pretty good. So yeah, our stand from here is, it's probably 100 yards. Right when you hit the bottom, there's a saddle there and it goes up a little. The stand's on the other side where it starts to go up. All right, guys, so I hope you like that little tour we did of the this bedding area enhancement that we worked on. We'll see how it turns out this fall, and if we got to do anything else, you know, next year in the spring, we'll work on it then. But a little bit at a time. We did quite a bit here, and we'll see how she turns out. So looking forward to them big boys creeping in, looking for them does. We'll be ready for them. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.